Friggin' knew it. Alright. So, spawning on the bottom left, we have our teal Protoss. It is Arthur.
And in the top right-hand corner, on match point, it will be Mill.DieStar. So, do you know match point?
Yes.
You do know match point.
Yeah.
So then you should know that this map is actually kind of imbalanced for your cannon rush.
Yes, I do know that.
Because on one, it doesn't appear you can do it in this version as the map is a little bit off, but from the exact Brood War one. But if you spawn in the top right-hand corner, you can do, you can put down 2 pylons, right directly above each other, and make that tight and put a cannon right there and be a really douchebag right behind the middle line. Unfortunately, you can't do it vice versa on Brood War, as the minerals into the wall it's not as tight. So that's just a little unfortunate. But yeah, so Zerg can do actually. Well, of course, Arthur can do a couple things right now. At this the 12. You can put down a proxy robo and then just kind of fly it in there. That's a high potential of doing that. But he can also, if he wanted to do that heavy link style, he could try to mine out these mineral patches at the natural of Arthur if DieStar wanted to get back at him. And you could just mess up the Protoss's wall, and then you can just get like 12 speed links in there and just be super annoying. I've seen that happen.
And right now, it seems like Arthur just going to be going Forge Fast Expand. And DieStar throwing down his expansion now. So far, other than this probe and the drone fighting, it's been pretty quiet. But of course, you're going to have to wait and see what happens.
So, pool being thrown down. Now, where does Zerg take his third? Oh, is that actually a drone scale with this? Really? Interesting. Or is he going to do an in-base proxy hatchery? Now, that would be awesome.
That would be. Because proxy anything is always awesome so long as you're the one watching it. Because if you're taking it, you're going to cry a lot.
I've lost to an in-base proxy hatchery before on ladder. As Terran, I thought I was walled off completely. I think it was like my 20-something game on ladder. Something like that. So I was still learning how to wall off correctly in Brood War. So, I'm doing my macro and thing, doing that. And I went for the gas steal, okay. Not super important, but whatever. Feels like it's important, you can do that. So I thought it was tight, but it actually wasn't tight, so the drone got in, and it was on this map, so it was like right here. Oopsie.
Oh, wow.
So it was like right there, so it was just like, alright, let's sunken him up, and I just died. And he put hatcheries all over the map, so I couldn't land my command center anywhere. And it was just not a fun game. I was really bad. I am very bad, so...
And right now it looks like DieStar going to be taking his third base all the way down at the bottom there. Of course. And I don't know. If I were DieStar, I would be extremely uncomfortable with the positioning of this third base, just because it seems so far away from your natural and main.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know what the StarCraft 2 mentality is, right? Like, I don't know where Zergs take their thirds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, taking a faraway third base for Zerg isn't really that uncommon, which might be the reason why I took the mineral only. A lot of time in PvZ, you get people will take actually their base down here in the bottom right hand corner, or even if they're feeling a little bit ballsy, they'll take the top left hand corner in Zerg's position. But because they want that, Zergs crave that third gas. For mutalisks or anything they want, it's more apparent in TBZ. But I mean, same principle goes for PVZ. So because Zerg wants to get enough lurkers, and then eventually, defilers and ultralisks for late.
All right, and Corsair is out. Gonna be killing off this Overlord scout that is up here for DieStar now, and Corsair tried leaving, but realizing that the Overlord's still here. And what did the Overlord see? Exactly. Of course, it did see the Corsair, and it saw every single thing that was warping in. He would have had to click on them to know for sure what was getting warped in. And Lara on the way for DieStar right now, as well as the Hydra range.
Yeah, I like where Arthur is right now. I mean, he's doing the Bisu build. He's getting his storm up so he can defend against the Hydra, 5-hatch Hydra push. I mean, he's gonna look really good. He's getting up his +1. This looks very much like a standard standard Protoss right here.
Yep.
And Derek, it is a live game.
Yep. And right now, DieStar is extremely supply blocked because of these Corsairs killing off every single Overlord that they can get at. Arthur's doing a great job with this right now. And Storm about 3/4 done, so Arthur's in a pretty good position for himself right now.
So Creep Colony, no. So I'm looking at this. Getting up his Robo quicker. I mean, this is the problem that Arthur's run into in the early game. What this Robo does, it takes 200 gas, it takes 200 minerals away, meaning a cannon and a High Templar, essentially. Just from the Robo. Then, plus whatever the support bay costs, and, the 200, 100 for the Reaver, and then all the Scarabs, right? I mean, this is a massive, massive mineral dump. And gas dump. If you're going to go Corsair Reaver, that's fine, but you don't get High Templar with this. So, really, I don't see the reason to get such a fast Robo, because you're not going to have to worry about lurkers this fast, where you would scout it already.
Yeah.
Which it is going to be Hydras. So, again, this is kind of like the issue with his build. And we'll see. I mean, he's been good enough to defend, earlier on, but some games he hasn't, probably because of this support bay, or this robotics.
Yep. And surprisingly enough, actually, Arthur has been incorporating a Dark Templar into most of his standing forces a lot of the time. I'd be happy to see a Dark Archon. I don't think I've seen a Dark Archon in SC2 Brood War as of yet.
Dark Archons are probably... what's that unit coming out of the Nexus in StarCraft 2?
Mothership?
Yeah, you rarely ever see Dark Archon because they're so situational. You get them for, if you have, there was for a time, TL was getting, we had a person named, it looks like we're going to have a DT drop happening, but we had a, is he going to get sniped?
Yeah.
We had a Chinese person giving us coverage of the Brood War out there, maybe probably 6 months ago, rather. And I saw a game, because they're kind of like the Korean level. They're really, really good, the Chinese. And there was a game where Zerg, I believe it was John Hoon. Well, the name's not really important, but the point is, good storms, but Zerg went like Mutalisk and killed off the main base of Protoss, but because Protoss was able to defend with a Dark Archon and Storm off its natural, he was actually able to come back and win the game. Like, that would be a situation where you'd use a Dark Archon with Maelstrom and stuff. Another one would be is if the Zerg has like a max 200 army of Ultras, that's when you could also use Maelstrom. Or, do you know what the stove is?
No.
So, well, other than the fact that Arthur's losing his base right now, I mean, like, that's kind of important, right? So well done for DieStar. But pretty much what the stove was, there was a TL user named Chef. I believe he actually might be a moderator or something on TL. But so he made the build where you pretty much go. It's a TVP build where as Protoss you make a Stargate to build a scout, so your opponent thinks you're really bad. So you're actually in the mind game of things. Then you make DTs, and then you go Arbiters, so you can recall with DTs in the end of the Terran's base while taking expansions, and you're supposed to win because your opponent doesn't think you're actually good. But someone made the Royal Stove off of that, where they did the same thing against Terran, where they made a scout, but they made a shuttle and made a Dark Archon mind control the SCV, making a command center, and then making factories and making it into a TVT. That's the Royal Stove, or pretty much sure that's kind of how it went down. I don't remember the whole thing, but those are the circumstances where you see a Dark Archon.
Well, right now, Arthur's just getting Singularity Charge. I think he might have just forgotten it because getting Singularity Charge now, it seems like it's really late. And surprisingly enough, these Corsairs are still alive, but they... Oh my god, these Corsairs are still alive. Holy crap.
Here comes the push. We'll see if the storm's gonna be good.
And nice storms going down from
there.
Arthur. And it looks like Arthur going to be pushing forward right now. The lurkers are still down. Needs to get an off. Pardon?
He wants to lift these. Wants to unburrow these lurkers right now. He's gonna lose them.
Yeah.
But look how many bases DieStar has right now. My God. And he's macroing off of them all of them. I was talking to LaLuSh about why he was doing StarCraft 2 Brood War, and he did this because there's a fundamental issue with the macro in StarCraft 2, where if you have like 5 bases of or so pretty much if you have like 5 bases, like the equivalent of having 3 apparently because of how good the AI pathing is. And in StarCraft 2 Brood War, they recreated like the more bases you have, like it doesn't matter if they're fully saturated, you actually just get a better economy than your opponent, even if you have an equal amount of workers, which is kind of cool. So really, Zerg's gonna be a really higher economy right now.
Yeah, especially with DieStar being 20 workers ahead. There's 1,000 mineral income difference there, and 200 gas income. And right now, it looks like Arthur and DieStar are just playing a positional battle right now. They keep just gonna try circling around this middle high ground ramp area. And Arthur going to be moving closer in here. Now looks like the Dragoon's going to be getting first shots on the lurkers that were coming in there. Nice storm on all of the Hydralisks, and Arthur going to try pushing forward, but he is on the ramp, having to fight upwards.
There's so many Hydras coming in here.
Yep, and nice storms coming out of Arthur. So many storms. Just, well, there's so many Templar hidden in the middle of the Dragoons there. The Lurk is going to try moving forward. Observer is still alive.
Trouble right here. Because if DieStar engages, he's going to actually be able to hit 100% of the time. Arthur's going to be on a ramp, so he's going to be shooting up a hill. So he has that mischance happening right there as being on the low ground. But the Storms are just proving to be so much. But does it really matter as it's going off of like 6 hatcheries or whatever, how many hatcheries he does have right now. So many goons are dying, and these Lings should be able to do massive damage to these goons right here. As Lings are the hard counter to goons right now. So many Lings are coming in here. Oh my goodness, Arthur is in a huge amount of trouble right here. The swarm is coming in here. And Arthur trying to start a step backwards, but I'm not sure if it might just be too much for him.
Yeah, he only has about 5 Dragoons right now. 8 Dragoons, 2 Templar, and 4 Zealots. But DieStar is 30 supply ahead right now, and he's coming in here with all of his Hydralisks and Zerglings, and it looks like he'll be able to kill off all of this.
Yeah,
and
wow.
I think we have the victor for $100, and it's finally going to be someone that isn't Mara.
Well, looks like I was wrong. Arthur did get killed off right here. He's back into his natural, and just hasn't been able to do anything. Didn't do the storm drops he wanted to do. He did that DT drop, but I think it must have gotten cleared up. DT drops aren't super effective against Zerg, as all their overlords are detectors. I mean, just half the map's Zerg. This little corner of the map is Protosses.
Yeah. And
Just getting cleaned up.
yeah, right now it looks like with this one Archon out, Arthur gonna try pushing forward. He doesn't have any storms on him right now. That actually looks like one Templar does have storm. We'll go down on a lot of the lurkers there. But all the Hydralisks now coming up that ramp. The lurker's gonna be burrowing on the high ground as well. Storm's just barely missing, and DieStar now looks like he'll be able to push forward. Units constantly streaming across the map from all of his bases.
Yeah, he's just going to continue to reinforce right here. There's really not a whole lot Arthur can do. All he can do is just kind of sit there and just be like, well, that's a lot of Hydras. GG. He's continuing to try to pump off of 7 gateways. And there's the GG from Arthur, giving the win and final win, the match, to Millennium DieStar. Gonna be happy with $100 in his pocket for sure.
Yeah. What an exciting day of SC2 Brood War.
Yes, it was. Has been.
Yeah.
Some pretty epic games, I have to say.
Yeah. So, DieStar are going to be winning $100 for winning weekly number 3. To close things out, I am OGMasterDalK. You can follow me on Twitter at MasterDalK and check out my channel, which is twitch.tv/MasterDalkTV. And of course, casting with me is Pucca. Where can they find you?
Team Liquid, probably. I don't have a lot of my own independent stuff. If you want some actual Brood War, you can go to iCCup.com, and that's where all the modern day Brood War stuff happens, or foreign Brood War happens. And I'm the person that runs the TV there. There's a link up there to link you to the TV on the site. But otherwise, great cast, guys. Also say thanks to LaLuSh for organizing and running this tournament, and also RustBrain for making these tournaments happen. So, and also Maverick, the creator of the mod too. It couldn't be possible without any of these guys. And also thank you to you, my fellow co-commentator. It's been a blast.
Yeah, it's really been fun. I hope all of you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Yeah, just keep an eye out on Team Liquid for when the next one will be. Probably either next week or the week afterwards. And yeah, it's just been so much fun today. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day, afternoon, night, evening, wherever you are in the world.
Have a good insert time frame there. Bye.
Yeah.